I want to make sure I take a moment to thank the people that helped make this video possible. I consider you producers of this channel and of this show. Without your support, these videos would not be possible. So I'd like to thank Rags, Comic Boom, Pop Size, The Frag Minion, Warren JB, Lynch Nut, David Osenwitz, sorry if I mispronounced your name, and a penny for your dimes. I also want to thank the people that like to remain anonymous and anybody else that has contributed to this channel in the past. Without your support, these videos would not be possible. If you find yourself in a position you can help and you want to see your name here too as a producer credit, go ahead and look down in the links below. There will be a Patreon, a subscribe star, as well as a one-time donation, and you can see your name up here too. Thank you.
The pulse brought the nation to its knees. In the fear and weakness that followed, the military began aggressively researching new types of weapons. Weapons that would forever change humanity. I was one of those weapons. Created in a lab, raised as a soldier. Fearless and lethal. I and others like me escaped our prison, and so I live in this post-pulse world. A woman and a warrior. Trying to understand who I am and how I can belong.
Hello, Fruit Force. This is Captain Fruit reporting for duty, and today I'm going to be reviewing a video game. I'm going retro. I pulled off a game off the shelf that I got actually not too terribly long ago for the PlayStation 2, and it's James Cameron's Dark Angel. Now, this is a beat-em-up video game based on the television series Dark Angel. If you've never seen the television series, you might want to go back and check it out. This was a series that didn't last for long. It was just 2 seasons. And it starred none other than Jessica Alba. And if that's not enough to make you want to at least check this game out, I don't know what your problem is. And also Michael Weatherly is in it too, which Michael Weatherly also was on a lot of other successful TV series. And Jessica Alba has done a lot of stuff too, considering television as well as movies. So they actually did the voice acting for this game too. And I think they did a very good job doing it. So Dark Angel is Jessica Alba, which is Max, and Logan is done by Michael Weatherly. And I think they didn't phone it in for this. I think this was a series they both were passionate about, they both enjoyed, and it showed. So this game follows the original storyline with you as the player controlling Max as she fights the I Corporation and attempts to find her twin sister, which you don't find out about her twin sister until a little bit later. And I'm not going to give all the details of this game because I don't want you to skip out possibly on if it's something you're interested in. Now, this isn't just on the PlayStation 2. You can also get this in on the Xbox as well. It was released, I believe, in 2002. And if you look at I looked up the scores, and it generally has mixed reviews, more unfavorable than favorable reviews. It was criticized for its unoriginality, which is sort of true. It doesn't really break any ground in any way, shape, or form. But once again, this is a licensed game. And how often do you see a licensed game that's really breaking ground? It was developed by Radical Entertainment and published by Sierra. So it is what it is. It was also criticized for a lot of repetition, and there was definitely a lot of repetition. It's definitely a beat 'em up to a degree. You're hitting the buttons a lot and doing button mashes, but there is combinations that you can do. But there isn't anything really too fancy there. On top of that, it's a stealth game where you have to be very, very sneaky, and some parts are quite tense. Another issue is there is some gameplay issues. Graphically wise, for the PlayStation 2, as you can see here, I think it's quite good. The storyline also is very well fitting with the storyline of the television series. It's a good continuation. And I mentioned it before, I'm going to mention it again. I think the voice acting was done very, very well. So as you see here, as I said, The graphic wise, it was pretty good. It's a single player beat 'em up game, and you play it from a third person's perspective view. You take control of Max, and if you're not familiar with Max, she's a genetically enhanced super soldier. And so the levels in this game, which I believe if you cut it down, there's like 22, involve fighting enemies on some. Some are doing a stealth mission, get from point A to point B without getting detected as much as possible. Some are just a very, very short fight this group of people mission, or a fight a boss. So not all levels are the same in length. Some levels might take you 5 minutes. Some levels might take you 12, 15 minutes, depending on your speed. Now, me, for one, I'm not a big fan of time limits. There is one section in here, two sections with a time limit. Well, one with a stealth time limit. You have to get through an area in a train so fast within 5 minutes without getting detected at all. If you get detected, you lose. And I will say, that had me pulling my hair out just a little bit. This game also has level bosses that you fight. And generally there's like 3 major type of bosses, which are enhanced creatures there, if you will, and then the very end boss. The bosses aren't anything super special. Matter of fact, there are a lot of similarity between each one, but it does make some level of sense since they're all genetically created by the same corporation. Though with that said, they could have been better. The cutscenes in this game, I think, were done very, very well. I think it's a great continuation of story in the series. So there's a lot of good things about there. So once again, the good things, the graphics, I think, were quite good for PlayStation 2 time. I haven't played the Xbox version, so I'm only guessing it might be a little bit better. The voice acting was great, and the continuation of the story is good. Now let's talk about some of the negatives. Some of the negatives is level design, which is mediocre at best. There's a lot of, you go from point A to point B, you have a map, and it's serviceable. It's nothing great. You have a combination of weapons and technology to help you get through each stage, which is fine. But there's not a whole lot of variability there. It's a lot of repetition. The same thing of fight a group of guys. Be stealthily. If you get caught, you fight more guys. There is some, though, once again, if you get caught, you automatically lose that level, which can be rather challenging. I didn't play it on the easy mode, but it does have that. It has an easy mode as well as an even harder mode. So you do have a lot of that there, but it's just not a whole lot of variability to really make you continue to be surprised by the game. The game also overdoes it a bit with exposition. The character played by Michael Weatherly will tell you what to do, and then seconds after the mission starts, right away he contacts you again and tells you almost the same thing again. And it happens over and over and over again, and it does tend to become annoying, especially if it's a more challenging level that you have to play it several times. You're going to hear that exposition, which you can just hit X and skip it, but you have to go through that over and over and over again. Now, this disc with this game also comes with some additional features. An interview with Jessica and Alba, a section where you can look through pictures of Max, which, I can understand why, I guess. She is an attractive woman, and they definitely should use that, right? So, who wouldn't want to run around as none other than Max the Dark Angel in this game? I wonder what this game would have looked like with today's graphics, how awesome that could have been. But as I said, it does suffer from a little bit of monotony and the same thing. There are some levels to me that were quite challenging. Now, so should you get this game? Well, that's a good question. If you are a huge diehard fan of Dark Angel, I don't see why you shouldn't. At least give it a try. I think the game I beat it in 2 days. And when I say 2 days, I'm saying it's probably about 6-hour campaign. Maybe shorter if you're really good at it, but I'm not great at stealth games. So that's another thing. If you are a fan of stealth games, you might dig this, because there's tricks to doing things like you go up against a wall, whistle to make a guy come out and stealthily take him down, or use a radio to make people come out. And I will say, there is some unpredictability in the game. Sometimes at one point where I wasn't seen, the next time I played that level, I was seen at that spot. So that part was an interesting part. But another negative I did find about the game, and I should have mentioned it before in the other negatives, is sometimes the camera really fights you. It does some odd and wonky things that makes it a little bit cumbersome to move around, or just darn right buggy. So with that said, you have a large amount of move sets that you can do. If you like beat 'em ups, this might be an interesting point, but if you don't like stealth, you're probably not going to like the stealth parts of this game, and it might turn you off. Me, it was a good change of pace because I don't do much on stealth games, and I usually am pretty weak at stealth games. So this was a good lesson for me because there's some other stealth games I want to tackle. So if you want to go back and get a cheap game that you might have fun on and you like the character with a good story, this actually might be for you. For the price, I say why not check it out. All right, well, thanks for watching. Until next time, keep it frugal.
Search results negative, sir. Maintain patrol.